Hello, YouTube. Well, good morning for a little while longer, YouTube. So I didn't do a video yesterday. I was slightly busy. I kind of got caught up in doing other things. Today I wanted to talk about supports because I don't know if people really realize it. Supports, emotional supports from family and friends is extremely important when you're trying to lose weight. It makes it really, really hard when if you don't have that. And also, I wanted to talk about situations, what to do, and how to deal with situations where there are people in your life, and there probably will be, that don't support what you're doing, the changes, even though it's healthy for you and it's good for you, and things that stem from that. So, let's talk about my situation a little bit. My friends have been great. My family's been great too, in different ways. They both deal with my successes and stuff like that a little differently. My friends are so gung ho about my weight loss. Like I admit I post, and this is something I would encourage people to do if you don't think you're going to get a little too annoying with it. If you're trying to lose weight and things like that, post that shit on Facebook. Every time something, not every time something happens, but when you have big milestones and things like that, post that on Facebook. Because if you have people that support you, you're going to have, people liking your post. It helps validate your situation. I constantly am posting things on Facebook. I feel like that's what all my Facebook's been in the last year, for the most part. I kind of feel awkward about that a little bit because I'm assuming my friends are eventually going to get annoyed at seeing all the weight loss posts. But I post, if I get down another, a size, and, if I buy a new shirt that's a size smaller than it was before, or, I hit a milestone. Like recently I just got down to 250. And around 250. Oh, it's got like a pound less. But essentially 250. And I've been trying to shoot for that, since day one to start. I wanted to at least get back down to, because that was the smallest adult size I was ever. So I wanted to get back to that. Now it's everything from here is gravy, as far as I'm concerned. So I'm going to keep working. But, so I post about stuff like that. Little weird things I notice when you're changing, I quip about it on Facebook. And the thing that helps a lot, when you've got a lot of support and stuff like that, is people will comment. That keeps me, like, the stuff that I post on Facebook and that people comment to, makes me feel better about what I'm doing, especially if I, excuse me, if I'm feeling like, why the hell am I doing this? Why am I still doing this? This is driving me nuts. Like, especially if I'm getting one of those cravings and things like that, and I just want to quit because I'm tired of it, which happens every once in a while. But when I post something, and usually I'll do that when I start feeling like that, and then people start pouring in, like, my phone will blow up with notifications of people liking the post or commenting on my post, stuff like that. If I just put a picture, a comparison picture up, and that helps. That kind of supports are important to keep you focused. That's kind of what I'm getting at. You got to do it for yourself, but the validation from other people helps a lot. And unfortunately, in some ways, sometimes you won't get that, and you just kind of tune that out, and you get the negative stuff, and just focus on the positive. But having your family and your friends support you, if you're trying to lose weight, tell everybody. That keeps you accountable, because if they know you're doing it, because then, for me, like, there's those moments where I start to feel like crap and I want to quit. and eat something I shouldn't, or binge on something I shouldn't, especially, I think about the fact that if I gain weight back, how many people am I going to be disappointing that have been rooting for me this entire time? And that keeps me accountable. So if you're trying to lose weight, tell everybody you're doing it. Everybody in your life, your friends, your family. Some people, I mean, I can see maybe not telling them right away. And when you start to lose a little bit, and you're like, okay, this is what I'm doing. You know, so you know that you're staying accountable. Like, if just so you know that you're going to stick with it. You know, if you wait a little bit, if you say you lose 5 pounds, and you're like, hey, I lost 5 pounds, I'm going to start working on my weight. I've been working on my weight, you know, and people will hopefully be happy for you. But yeah, supports are important for stuff like that. Especially, and it's also important for it's also important for the emotional times when you're changing, because people don't realize you lose weight. Not only does your body change, but your head changes. Like, you got to get in a different headspace when you're losing weight, because all those insecurities and all those things, issues you have with your body, eventually will start to change. Some of them will go away, but depending on how happy you end up being with how you look after you've lost weight. But you have to adjust to a whole new headspace with being a smaller person. You know, it's very different. I'm much more confident now, and sometimes it's hard to navigate out of that previous headspace of being negative about yourself all the time and being ashamed of yourself all the time. So you kind of gotta work, have supports to help you when you get emotional with not knowing what to do with all the new feelings, and your body is changing really rapidly when you're losing weight, especially if you're losing it like I did. And sometimes I don't know how to feel about that, sometimes it's scary. I mean, it's a good thing, but it's still scary. And then there's always the worry about you're gonna gain stuff back after you're afraid to eat certain things, even a little bit, because you're afraid of gaining weight and having someone to talk to about that. So that's why family and friends are important. My family has been great about the whole situation. I mean, they've seen me start and stop. They've been a little leery, it seems, about my weight loss, because they've seen me start and stop diets a lot in the past. And they were around when I was trying to have surgery before and botched the diet and quit twice. So I'm sure they're a little leery about supporting what I'm doing. I mean, they're supportive as far as like commenting, complimenting me and stuff like that. I think they just don't want to say too much. Like my friends go out, like I said, gung ho with complimenting me all the time and making comments, and they're just so happy for me. But my family has seen me fail a lot, so I think they're reserving their their judgment and their excitement for when I hit go away. So, and if I can keep it off. So, but it's still important. What they think is still important, to me at least. Another thing I wanted to talk about, and this is important, in dealing with people who don't support what you're doing. And that sounds weird. You would think, why would someone be like that? It's like when you're heavy, when you're fat, why would people want you to be like that? Like, why would they not want you to get healthy? And there's a lot of different reasons sometimes with dealing with people. Sometimes it's their insecurities with themselves. Um, the past is, if they're maybe a little heavy side or a little heavier side or whatever, and you used to be the fat friend, and now they're the fat friend, uh, or a little heavier than you, and makes them insecure. Uh, you're gonna have people have a negative reaction to that. And there's another thing that comes along with weight loss, and that's your self confidence gets a lot better. Your self esteem, your self respect, and I think if you have a relationship or a friendship that was based a little too closely on you feeling like crap about yourself, um, then the dynamic changes when you lose weight, and they can't handle that. And so they either push you away or they try to sabotage your progress. And you got to learn to cut that out quickly. I've only lost one friend for the most part in this whole thing. And as much as I love that person to death, I'm not going to give up my health and my newfound happiness to make them feel better. I know they have issues, various issues, some of them with themselves and things like that. And as much as I've offered to help, without being condescending, nothing. I get nothing there. And I love this person to death, and probably always will. But if they want to kick me out of their life because I'm different and they think, I'm boring now and I just don't do anything and I'm too controlling over what I do now, that I don't need that. And if they ever came around, that I'd still be their friend and this and that, but I don't need that negativity. I don't. It's too frustrating for me. I don't think I've changed. I'm more self-confident and I respect myself a lot more, but I don't think overall I've changed a lot. I can't go out and just eat pizza and go binge eating with friends and going out to dinner and all the time and this and that, but I can still go. I go out all the time, places. I have to be more specific about what place I go to eat, but I go out all the time. So, I have to have a little more control over things, but I can still do stuff. So, that opinion that I just don't do anything anymore doesn't completely hold true. I sometimes I've skipped stuff for fear of food, but that's only stuff I know. With the food is there is going to be absolutely uncontrollable for me, and it's all going to be bad. And why torture myself with that? And my friends don't have to change for me, so I can't expect them to do that. So sometimes it's just easier to stay home for some things. But I've only lost the one friend, seems like, so far. Everybody else has been supportive, and that's the hardest part. When you I didn't think I was going to have that situation. I've heard people talk about this situation in different various arenas, and read it a few places, how when you start to lose rapid amounts of weight, there will be people in your life that don't support it and won't get behind it. and you'll lose them out of your life. I didn't think that was going to happen to me. I really didn't. Because I've always been so close to all my friends and things like that. And they've always been pretty supportive of everything I've done. But what I could say to that is, if it happens to you, don't get discouraged. Do not give up what you're doing to appease them. Because no matter how much you love them as a person and love your relationship with them, they are not worth your health. Staying heavy is not going to help you. It's not going to help your relationship with them. Because if they don't respect the fact that you're trying to lose weight and trying to make your life better, then they don't respect you as a person at all. And why would you want to surround yourself with that? I had to, years ago, I wouldn't have been this wise to that. It took losing a lot of weight and getting a lot of more self-confidence to be able to say, okay, you want to walk away? You walk away. If this is the dumbest reason I can think of that you could walk away from me. Just because I'm trying to be better about myself. Don't sabotage yourself. Don't sacrifice the gains you're making or you've made for anybody else. Relationships are about adapting and compromising. So if you're changing, your relationships have to change. And for the most part, and like with all my other friends and family, my relationships have all changed for the better. Because I'm in a better mood, and I see how proud people are of me. I know I never really knew just how much support. Sometimes you don't know how much support you have, especially when you're miserable like that, until you go to fix it, and you see how much support you have. That's why I said supports are very important, because as you're losing the weight, you're going to need someone there for you and to help lift you up, and when you're feeling like you want to quit, or to praise you, to motivate you to keep going. Because sometimes it's hard to motivate yourself all by yourself all the time. I mean, yeah, you should be motivating yourself and be pushing yourself all the time as much as you can, but sometimes you just get those moods and you get those feelings where you need the outside validation to do it. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about that a little bit today, because it's something that's really important to me, because I'm grateful to all my friends. I miss you miss the people that couldn't hang with your decision, but yet you praise the people who stuck by you for that, through all that. So I think my next video, I'm trying to think of what I want to do. I'm trying to decide what I want to do for my next video. There's a lot of stuff. Eating out would be something that I want to do a video on, because I have a lot of problems. I've had a lot of problems with that. I mean, I do it. And trying to be social eating. I kept saying I was going to do a social eating video, but I wanted to do the social supports first. So I may do that, social eating, and how to navigate that, and emotionally as well as technically navigate going out to eat and things like that. Going out to eat is a little more of a chore when you're on a diet, So when you're like fine-tooth combing the menu. So we'll talk about that next time. So hopefully this video was interesting for some people. Please subscribe if you haven't, and go check out some of my other videos. I've done a couple other videos now. I'm gonna start trying to be more on the ball with every day, getting a video in. So yeah, I hope everyone has a good day. Take it easy.